Hey guys, it's Beauty Brie 14. I hope you guys are all doing very well today. Today's video is going to be my products that I hate makeup tutorial. I filmed this makeup tutorial using all the products that I do not like, and just as a disclaimer, I know I have to say it, but just because I may not like an item, it doesn't mean that you may not like an item. It may work for you, it may not work for me, vice versa, and I hope you guys enjoy. So let's just get started. So the first thing that I'm going to be starting out with is my foundation, and this is actually a pretty good foundation. This is the Too Faced Amazing Face Close-Up Foundation. It's pretty old and it is discontinued. It is a good foundation, however, I did something really wrong. I put my Dream Fresh BB cream into this foundation and mixed it around the foundation because I actually bought this BB cream in a lighter shade, so I just thought that I could just mix it with my foundation. And I actually messed it up, so the color is really off and it just looks way too light for my skin tone, so it's going to look really crazy on my skin. So next I'm going to be going in with my concealer, and the concealer that I really do not like is the LA Colors concealer in the color Nude. And there's two reasons why I do not like this concealer. One is because it is not my shade. You're supposed to go down 2 shades or 1 shade from your actual skin tone, and this color is way off of my skin tone. And 2, the coverage in this really does suck, so you guys will see, like, there's actually nothing coming out onto the brush, and the coverage of it really does suck. So like, do you guys see how pale this is for my skin? And you're gonna see how much coverage it really does have. It has 0 coverage, and I really do not recommend this because you're trying to cover up your dark circles and your dark spots, and it's not even doing any of that stuff. And while we're at it, we're just gonna highlight my chin and we're gonna highlight my forehead. Alright, so I'm done with my foundation and my concealer. Now I'm going to set my face. I do not have a really bad powder. I actually have a powder that is really good, so I'm just going to use that. I have to set my face either way, so I'm not going to just not set my face, if you guys know what I mean. So I'm just going to take my favorite L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder in the color Soft Sable, and I'm just going to apply that to my face. Alright, to set my under eyes, I'm going to be going into my Profusion Color Book palette. I use this for literally everything, and the reason why I do use this palette is because I actually am in love with this palette. I know I'm cheating, but I do not have any under eye powders, so I'm just going to be using this. I'm going to be using these 2 light colors. In fact, I think I'm going to be using this really light color because I do love this palette. However, I really do not like this light color because it's just way too light for my skin tone. So I guess I'm not cheating for you guys. So I'm just going to be using that and applying that underneath my eyes. Now this is way too light for my skin tone, as you guys can see. It's like a really pale color. It's going to make my under eyes very noticeable, and instead of concealing them, it's just going to bring out my bags even more. Just not what we want. Right? So next, after that, I'm just going to powder contour. I did not use my cream contour because I do not have any cream contours that I do not like, that I own. However, I do have a powder contour that I'm not a big fan of. I don't hate it, however, I'm not like in love with it. And you guys are probably going to hate me for this, but it's actually from the Sweet Peach Glow palette, and it's actually not a contour, it's actually a bronzer. And it is this color on the farthest right for you guys, I think, and the farthest left for me. And it's just this really like light brown color, and supposedly this is supposed to be like a bronzer, and I believe this color is way too light for darker skinned women, and this is definitely not going to add any type of bronziness to our skin color. So I actually have 2 palettes that I'm not a big fan of that I've noticed that I haven't been using in my vanity, and this is the Profusion Pace, what does this even say? Profusion Pacey Journal palette, and this is the Color Mates eyeshadow palette, and I do not know what name of this is or what so I figured out what type of look I'm going to do. I'm going to be taking this blending brush and I'm going to be going into this medium purple shade, and I'm just going to be putting that into my crease. Next, to add some definition to this look, I'm going to be using this deepest kind of plumish brown shade to my outer corners just to add a little bit of dimension. Now for on top of my lid, I'm just going to be taking this really nice champagne-y color, I'd definitely say, and it's just like a lot of glitter. Like I said, like the glitter fallout is really you can see it on my brush, and hopefully it doesn't fall into my eyes because that would suck. And yep, a glitter just fell onto my eye, so great. Alright, so I have my lid color on, and now I'm just going to add something to my inner corners. However, I think I'm going to go in with this kind of light brownish champagne color, and we can just hope for the best. And for my brow highlight, I'm just going to go in with my Color Mates palette and be taking this really champagne-y brown color and just applying this to my under eye brow area for a nice highlight, as you guys can see. Okay, so I am done with my eyeshadow, and of course I have to add some eyeliner. My favorite type of eyeliner is liquid eyeliner, and of course I'm going to be using my exact opposite. I'm going to be using one of those regular eyeliners from back in the day. Who even uses these anymore unless you're doing it for your waterline? Hopefully, pray for me. I haven't done this in a while. I'm so used to using liquid eyeliners. However, hopefully this will not jab my eyes, and hopefully I won't go blind. So I'm applying it to my lashes, and of course they make them look darker, but they do not make them look luscious and fake like how I want them. So that's probably why I just do not like this mascara. Next, I'm going to be going in with my blush, and a blush that I'm not a huge fan of is this Marc Buenos Aires Vibe Caliente Glow. This is a blush, bronzer, and compact. It has a blush and it has a bronzer, so it's just all mixed together. This is just what it looks like. The bronzer is on the outside and then the blush is in the inside. It has this really nice magenta kind of red-orange blush, and then it also has purple, which I thought was really weird. However, when I swish this on, there's like a lot of fallout. However, when you apply it to your skin, it just is not a pretty color. Like the combination of purple and magenta as a blush, as for this blush, it's not really good. As for my highlight, I'm actually going to be using my LA Colors Contour Stick, and I have no idea why it's called a contour stick. However, it is a highlighter, and the reason why I don't like this is because the first time I bought it, it just broke, and I think that's really bad quality. I feel like when I buy things, it shouldn't break the second I buy it. I don't know, it makes me really upset. So when I'm blending it in, it's like really hard to blend in, and it just leaves like a patchy type of gold look. Like, I feel like it's trying to be like a Benefit WhatsApp, but it's not. And for my lips, of course, I'm going to be taking my ColourPop Clueless Ultra Matte liquid lipstick, and I really cannot stand ColourPop's Ultra Matte liquid lipsticks. They are way too drying, they crackle up on me, and they make this really round type of creasing in my lips, which I really do not like. They do not last long. And pretty much my biggest pet peeve of any type of lip product is if they are crackly and they leave my lips feeling really dry and just not moisturized. So